Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be continuing with our Beacon Pines playthrough. So we've unmasked a bit of a conspiracy in our basement. Gran, presumably the ringleader, we've captured Mr. Tolliver and made him pass out a couple of times now. And it looks like we're going to be heading to the library to go and research a bit more about this thing he mentioned. It was the source. Apparently that's where our Gran's gone, so maybe we can find something to explain a bit more about what that is. So let's dive straight back in. If there's any information about this source thing, Cato can help us find it. Let's go get some answers. Here at the bibliothèque. This is a dang nice library. Thanks, we work hard on it. Aren't you a little young to be a librarian? Cato hung out here so much, eventually they gave him a set of keys. I just keep an eye on the place for Mrs. Novak sometimes. They got you working for free? It's quiet and I get access to all the books I can read. What more could a person want? Fair enough. What can I do for you all? We need a favour. I already told you and Rolo. I can't put you any higher on the wait list for the next Hank Atomic. And if you're here with more candy, I'll have you know I can't be bought. Call it a personal code of conscience. Actually, we're looking to do some research. Ah, now you're speaking my language. What are you looking for? That's the thing, we sort of don't know. What do you got on the history of the town? There's the county record archives. What's in those? Births, deaths, newspaper clippings, stuff like that. Pretty boring reading. But they do go all the way back to when the town was founded. Great, we'll start there.
Chapter 8. 6 feet under, 3 towns over.
Ooh.
The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old county records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance. Luca tried to shake the thought of Gran's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives, messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and a corkboard threaded with photos. Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst. But the old map with the symbol of explosives in town square made that difficult. As the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth.
If I have to read any more records, my eyeballs are going to pop. We have to keep digging. If I dig another word, I'm going to end up in one of these asinine death records. Rollo Cotter lived a full and wonderful life, till he read so much boring crud that his brain oozed out of his ears.
Rollo shut his book with an assertive nod.
If you've got a better idea, spit it out. You sound like my sister. Keep pushing your luck, pal. And it won't be boring county records that kill you. I'll put you in the obituaries myself.
Rollo muttered under his breath.
You're a county record. Really? That's the best you've got? When I'm done with you, you'll be the footnote in history. Just like...
Beck slammed her finger down on the open page before glancing.
J. Hartford here. I'd love to see you try. Hey. We're all a little tired here. Let's just take a minute and...
Something tickled the back of Luca's mind.
Wait, what was that name, Beck? In the obit? J. Hartford. From the Brookville Tribune 20 years ago. That can't be right. What is it? J. Hartford. That's my Gran's name, Juniper Hartford. Maybe there were 2 J. Hartfords. Mrs. Hartford is survived by her young daughter, E. Hartford. My mum's name is Eleanor. Okay, this is getting creepy. If your Gran is 6 feet under, 3 towns over, then who am I living with?
The question hung in the air.
Ooh. Alright, gang, I gotta close up for the night.
Beck rubbed her eyes.
How late is it? Almost 10. Oh crap, Pa's gonna kill me. I gotta go. Yeah, my parents will be worried sick. Okay, let's meet up as early as we can at the festival tomorrow. What are you going to do about the unconscious man in your basement? I'll think of something.
Luca's heart was pounding as he approached the house. If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course, there was Mr. Tolliver tied up and unconscious in the basement. Dealing with him would be the first order of business. Luca shook out his arms to calm his nerves before entering. He held perfectly still, tempering his breath, and listened closely. She was asleep. His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tolliver before dozing off.
Are you going to see her? No. Okay, well, the secret door's still open. Oh, no.
Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen.
Maybe he woke up, escaped from his bindings, and left without a trace.
Or maybe Gran knew everything.
What do I do?
Luca's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating.
Okay, I can figure this out. Just need a little brain food.
Luca rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoveled a handful into his mouth.
I'm afraid your jam delivery will be
He
delayed.
flipped the lid to read the label.
Mr. Nuncreed. Okay, now I can think. So if Gran knows we tied up Mr. Tolliver, I'm screwed. If she doesn't know, then I need to play it cool. I guess the only option is to go to bed and act as if nothing's wrong. Gran will think Mr. Tolliver finished what he was sent to do and left when he was done. Gran? Okay, stick to the plan. Go to bed and play it cool.
As Luca climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened. His stride began to falter. He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself. Something was wrong.
Come on, legs. Just a few more steps.
Luca groaned and tried to move. His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground. Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep.
The germ? Yeah, I think there was something in the jam, wasn't there?
Sweet boy. What did you get yourself into? Rest now and let me handle everything.
At least it wasn't poisoned. That's what I thought it might be.
Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches. Luca awoke to find himself face down in bed. He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him? Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncreed? Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Luca snapped back to the matter at hand.
The festival! Go straight there, I suppose. Won't bother looking in the graveyard. Where have you been? Gran put something in the jam. Yeah, we know. Secret messages for secret conspirators. Not this one. The one intended for Mr. Nuncreed. Put me to sleep. Whoa! Ho! Sly devil. Sly. I think she's trying to remove him from the equation. He might be in danger. Have you found anything? We looked around but haven't seen anything odd. Your Gran's nowhere to be found. But Mr. Nuncreed is just loafing around waiting for the speech. What speech? Mayor Gus just got up to the podium. Everyone is gathering at the stage. Let's get moving.
Augustus Valentine nervously wiped his brow.
Is this thing, hello, Beacon Pines. I'm Augustus Valentine, your mayor, and, I suppose you already know that. Oh yes, before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to recognise someone who couldn't be here today. This town wouldn't be where it is today without my father, Sharper Valentine, so I thought we could begin with a round of applause, befitting such a great man.
Even that's more than the old codger deserved.
Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie.
Right, where was I?
William Kerr bounded on the stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival.
Gus Valentine,
He
everyone!
gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage.
Let's hear it for our mayor! What a great turnout! Ah, heck, I didn't prepare anything. But I suppose I could say a few words. Would be a shame to waste such a beautiful podium.
Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his vest.
Community, conviction, commitment. These are the things we celebrate at Perennial Harvest. For us, these are the pillars of the bridge to a better tomorrow. But I think it's time to add a new pillar. Change. Change is a powerful thing. It's inexorable, unavoidable, and undeniable. And I am dadgum thankful for it. Change is the reason we're all together today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. Simple business trip which brought me to a small town which would change my life forever.
Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd.
You know what?
He wiped away a single tear.
From the second I set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place has held me captive. You see, change represents opportunity. It represents potential. It was change that helped me recognize the potential of this place. To see that the people of this town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to the things that made them special.
He thumped the podium to emphasize each word.
Community, conviction, commitment, change.
Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent, in rapt attention.
Fate made a perfect match that day. Nothing is more important to you all than community. And Perennial Harvest is a community first and foremost.
Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd.
The only way you made it through the foul harvest was an unshakable conviction. A conviction that a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. Perennial Harvest was founded on the conviction that we are that horizon. This festival is a symbol of our commitment to each other.
His voice began to build to a crescendo.
We now walk hand in hand into a future we will shape together. And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. What was that?
The crowd began to look around nervously.
Don't worry, a little thunder isn't going to ruin this day. Everyone remain calm.
Mr. Kerr quickly flicked through his note cards.
Where was I? Through all of my travels, I've learned one true thing. Yada yada. One always reaps what they sow. We have all planted a lot of good in this town. And so, it is with a happy heart that I can proclaim
He raised his hands up to the heavens.
our harvest awaits. Oh dear, we got frozen again.
At that that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time. The end.
Okay.
There's that
We did it
ice
again.
Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything. Maybe we should just quit? Maybe you should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again. No, I don't mean that. We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again. Please.
Right, what do we got? So this is the... Okay. So we have the interrogation. We got Sly now instead of Hard. Nothing new there, nothing new there, nothing new there, nothing new there. Something new there. That's a possibility. Tell you what, let's actually try the escape from the clipboards. Let's see what happens there. So if you remember, Rollo is being held captive. Iggy is now a mutant and came to the treehouse. We found him there. We're hiding out from the clipboards. And what happens if we run away from this situation?
Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Flight. He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree branches. He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
Wow, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr. We'd love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy.
See ya, jerks!
Fine, we know where that leads them. This way, we'll take the tunnels.
Luca and Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back. The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice. In fact, it was ice. Chapter 5. Signs. They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across a snowy terrain.
Wow, okay.
That was actually pretty badass.
Uh-huh. I think we lost him.
Are we up in the mountains?
I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill.
And what's up with the Winter Wonderland?
All I know is there's no going back the way we came. Let's see if we can get our bearings. Follow me.
A disc of smooth metal was lightly covered in snow. Two faint seams were visible along the surface.
A manhole cover? If it is, I've never seen one like it. What's up here? Luca? Luca, are you there?
Luca had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying.
Is that Bozo?
Oh, it's Kerr. Luca, are you there?
No, is that Bozo Kerr?
I hope nothing bad has happened to you out in those woods.
Luca looked at Iggy with hesitation.
No need to be rude.
With a resigned sigh, Luca responded.
Seems like the only dangerous thing in the woods is you. He speaks, the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy, howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, ain't you? You knew my parents. I never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mom sure was a handful.
Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
We gotta keep moving.
Is this a way through anywhere? Doesn't. Maybe under here? No, okay, this has the feel of a bit of a dead end, doesn't it? Yeah, okay, so let's carry on down this way then. No?
What's the readout? Sitting just above 258 Kelvin. Oh, that's down a bit from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Kerr? Yeah, still within safe ranges. It may be spreading, but it's under control for now. Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. Just a few more sites to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with.
That looks like the Beacon Pines sign.
What's all this?
Hard to say with all this snow.
I think it's a town sign. I can almost make out letters under there.
What town could this even be? There couldn't be another town this deep into Wheat Wood.
I'm looking at evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1. Snow's gotta go.
See what I can do.
The boys stared in disbelief at the sign that now clearly read, "Welcome to Beacon Pines."
This doesn't make any sense.
We're in Beacon Pines?
How's that possible? We ran away from town. How did we get back here?
I guess we got turned around.
Where did all this snow come from?
Well, it's been colder than normal lately.
That's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape.
That puddle we fought at before, it was cold too. Maybe all of it leads to one source.
You think it's related? What the hell is going on?
We're going to get you some answers. Let's keep moving. So this would be town up here, wouldn't it? Looks quite different though, doesn't it?
This stuff look familiar to you?
It looks like the barrel near the puddle
Shove me into, yeah. It's all frozen.
Looking down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice.
Whatever happened here, it happened fast. The fish didn't even have time to run. Or, you know, swim run.
The crunching of footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Everyone's gone.
What?
There's nothing here but more snow.
There must be an explanation for all of this. We have to keep looking.
You can look all you want. I quit.
Iggy, we have to keep going.
You don't get it, do you? This isn't one of your pathetic hang-atomic stories. We ain't gonna save the day. We ain't even gonna save ourselves. My face is mangled. The town is destroyed. And everyone we've ever known is gone.
We don't know that. You can't just quit.
Do whatever you want. I'm done.
Iggy, it's gonna be okay.
Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion and more than a little guilt.
It is getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a great idea to stumble around in the dark anyway.
Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
Let's just rest for a bit.
The boys huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence, numb.
The way the snow covered everything over, it's kind of calming.
Yeah.
I haven't had time to say it, but, thanks.
Huh?
For getting us away from those creeps. I sort of froze up back there.
Iggy, I should be the one apologizing. This will happen because I lost my temper.
Now, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what that gunk would do. You didn't, right?
Of course not.
And second, stop with this baloney about losing your temper.
But I did lose my temper.
Iggy motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. But that's exactly what you should have done.
Huh?
I was being a horse's ass. You were supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works.
Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you?
Of course. Geez, you goody-goody types take forever to understand this very basic point.
Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into fights?
Iggy shrugged.
Yeah, something to do.
You're an asshole because you're bored?
Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Roller were always having a blast together. Laughing and calling that dinky little treehouse mission control.
Iggy now wept openly.
Perfect little Luca Van Horn. With his perfect little life.
My life is not perfect.
Everybody in town likes you.
Not everybody.
Hell, that new girl hasn't even unpacked yet, and even C already likes you.
You have Tish.
He wiped his nose with a sleeve.
I love Tish. Tish is great. But she ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know?
Luca gave a warm chuckle.
I get that impression.
Iggy cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
Yeah, it must be raining out here.
Definitely.
Iggy arched into a wide yawn.
You should probably try to get some sleep.
Yeah.
Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow we'll get to the bottom of all this.
Luca's eyelids began to slowly drift shut.
I'm gonna freeze to death out here.
Luca,
Yeah?
I always did want to see the inside of your dinky little treehouse.
What did you think?
Not bad.
I'll give you the full tour when we get back.
You know what?
That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more.
When it comes to worst days of my entire life, this one wasn't half bad.
The house smelled of warm bread. Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug. He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke. "This is how you remember them, huh?" Luca turned to see his own face. The doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes. Aww, look at this perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this. The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it. It's amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials. Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you? Lucas snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. Remember what? The doppelganger pointed to the couch. The last day we saw him alive. The day he chose to abandon us. Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch. That's not true. He didn't abandon us. The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively. Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see. Well, let me show you. The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room. No, we both know that's not how this went. He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. Do you remember what we did next? Luca gave a slow nod, then crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward. What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them. Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading. I can't lose you. Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this. Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son? Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with a panicked smile. Luca, is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye. Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all. Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere? Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise. With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun. A figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall. It stood above them, lingering in contemplation. Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head. From a deep slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively.
Get your hands off me!
Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger, Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
Just what do you think you're doing?
Luca looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor.
You two certainly have caused a lot of commotion.
What's that supposed to mean?
Take it easy, Iggy.
We were asleep, minding our own business. You're the one running around, knocking on people's heads.
I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy.
You didn't hurt nobody.
Anybody.
Huh? Oh, I see. You think you're better than me? You...
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
You big-headed, scarfy-necked, furball.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's lower the temperature a bit here. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's all just calm down. Who are you? A friend. An observer. A hitchhiker on the infinite expanse of possibility. Great. How about a name? If you must call me something, you can call me Nat.
Iggy huffed with gratification.
How about you make like a gnat and buzz off?
Very well.
Nat began to turn away indifferently.
Wait. Do you live here? You might say that. So you know where we are? You might also say that.
Look, pal, we were just going to find a safe way out of here.
You going to help us or not? Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are.
All right, that does it. Luca, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here one way or another.
Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp off.
Enough with the riddles. Iggy, wait up.
Realizing he'd worn their patience then, Nat relented.
Oh, it's a him. Very well, I suppose this isn't the time for metaphors. I'll show you how to get back home.
Luca and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes.
Come here.
Nat took a deep breath in.
Close your eyes.
Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers.
Okay, open them.
For a brief moment, Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold, until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place, cold and disheartened.
This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look now, we don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate in Wheatwood? We teleported to some alternate universe? Well, this is all just some cruel experiment by Kerr and his goons. But this is not our home. You're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much less fanciful.
Just give it to us straight.
So be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines. The original, true Beacon Pines. You both grew up here. But the town you've called your home for the past several years is a replica. A remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair. But a replica nonetheless.
That's impossible. It's too much work. You'd need a whole town to replicate a whole town.
Indeed, to pull off such a feat would require immense labour power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require a precise duplicate. We would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. You'd think so, unless the auditing was impeccable. A mind-numbing attention to detail. As for the innumerable trivialities which complete the tapestry, well, you can leave that to the miraculous thing we call a brain. It is a real aversion to discontinuity, a revulsion even. The brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane. Luke and Iggy looked around uncomfortably.
So you're saying that someone made an entire new town and moved us all, and no one noticed?
Precisely. But why? Why is the one question that can never be answered with certainty. The best one can do is uncover.
Nat narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered,
The source.
Why'd you say the source like that?
Why indeed?
Luca began to laugh uncomfortably.
It's all ridiculous. There's no way they could,
He looked down at his feet. His eyes started back and forth in contemplation. With a sudden pain, a thought struck him.
If this really is home.
He sprinted off into the pale distance. As Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out,
Iggy, it's not too late to turn back. Simply head west through Wheatwood.
Chapter 6. The Source. Nat expressed his sympathy with a shrug and sauntered off as unassumingly as he'd arrived. He'd given Luca and Iggy what they needed, and nothing more. As Luca sprinted across the snow, the events of the past few days became clearer, pieces to a larger puzzle. Rollo said he was underground somewhere, captured. Mr. Kerr tried to cover it up with lies. The clipboards were hell-bent on capturing Iggy. It all seemed to point to perennial harvest. But right now, there was one thing that Luca needed to know. Luca stopped dead in his tracks. The tree was gone, uprooted and moved, leaving a raw gash in the earth. He dropped to his knees and dug wildly at the cold snow.
So is this where their, treehouse should be?
His numb hands hit something hard. A headstone.
Oh, his dad.
A dry whisper escaped Luca's lips.
You're here. All this time I thought I was visiting you. But you've been here. Alone. In the snow. Dad, I'm so sorry. They've ruined your favourite spot in the world. Our favourite spot in the world. Dad, what do I do?
There was no reply. Just snow-covered silence.
Why'd you give me the slip like that? What if I couldn't find you, you jerk?
Iggy finally noticed the tears welling in Luca's eyes and the snow-covered grave.
Oh.
Iggy, they stole his tree, Iggy.
Yikes!
Suddenly, they heard the crunch of approaching footsteps in the snow.
We gotta hide!
259k. Fall off distance, still good. Dude, did you hear me? I said 259. Sorry. You ever think about what we did here? We saved a whole town of people. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. What about everything we left behind? There's the grave of someone with a family. The people who love them will never know the truth. The truth is overrated.
He bent down to scoop up a snowball and lobbed it playfully.
Hey, don't be such a downer, dude. We took this job to change the world. Yeah, come on. It's almost lunchtime. Weirdo.
Here I thought I was a jerk. These dinguses are out here literally dancing on graves.
Luca stuttered through heaving sobs.
I thought I was visiting him. I thought he was with me.
Not gonna lie, that's a bad break. Here's some advice.
Iggy gave Luca a solid smack on the back of his head.
Hey!
Who's any of this helping?
What?
Sitting here in the snow, crying like some pushover? Who you helping?
Iggy, look what they did. They lied to everyone.
Blah, blah, blah. Luca Van Horn, you're a lot of things, but you ain't no pushover. What did I tell you before? When some jerk comes at you, acting like a horse's ass,
I should stand up for myself.
hell yeah! Kerr and his merry little band of clippers pulled off this switcheroo for a reason, right?
Nat mentioned something about a
Luca
source.
wiped his eyes with a sleeve.
Whatever's at the source must be awfully valuable to Perennial Harvest.
Sure would be a shame if something unfortunate would have happened to their precious source, wouldn't it?
What do you have in mind?
If it's small enough to steal, we snatch it. If it's too big to snatch, we smash it.
What if it's too big to smash?
Iggy flashed a mischievous smile and cracked his knuckles.
I'm always up for a challenge.
I'm going to make this right, Dad. I promise. Let's do this. How do we do that?
It can get awfully cold out there in those woods, Luca. Probably best you two stay put and conserve your energy. Help's on the way.
Where's Rolo? Where's my mum? Did you kill her?
Oh, heavens no! Do I seem like a killer to you?
Iggy and Luca shared a skeptical look.
Well, do I? Aw, shucks, that hurts my feelings.
Screw that guy. Okay. Locate the source. Is it down this manhole? So this should be our house, shouldn't it? It's not here though. Can we go south out of town? Nope.
Wait a minute. If this is the original town, then that means...
Iggy darted behind a large pine and began digging furiously. He emerged holding a shoebox with a crude skull painted on its lid.
What's that?
Long story. So, a few years back, I came into possession of some premium grade fireworks. Not the wimpy firecracker stuff they give kids. The good stuff.
So why did you bury it under a tree?
That's a long part of the story. You and Rolo were doing chores at Rolo's chicken coop, and you guys pissed me off for some reason or another.
Luca rolled his eyes with realization.
No, you
He
didn't.
stifled a chuckle.
Yep. I just wanted to give you guys a little scare. But like I said, these were some primo fireworks, so I might have underestimated things.
You blew up the chicken coop.
I prefer to think of it as an incendiary redecoration. Sorry, but you should have seen the looks on your faces.
Rolo got grounded for months.
Which is why I needed to stash the evidence and lay low. So I buried them under that tree. But when I came back for them later, they were gone. I figured some grown-up found them and tossed them.
Iggy triumphantly raised the shoebox.
Turns out it wasn't the fireworks that got moved. It was us.
Unbelievable.
Do you think this is a game? Newsflash, boyo. You're not a hero. You're a little brat who is in way over his head.
A hero is just someone who refuses to give up.
Comics these days are rotting children's brains. Everyone thinks they're a spaceman superhero.
I was always partial to Hank Atomic myself.
Is that so? Do you really think you have a chance against us? You have no idea how powerful we are.
Prepare for blast-off, loser. Ooh, town hall.
Crooked. Just like this whole stinking place.
Ooh, okay, got a little charm there. We got the stairs to the coffee shop? Nope. I think we have to have a look at this hole.
Luca and Iggy inched up to the edge of the hole with bewilderment in their eyes. Arctic air breathed out of the cavern in heaving gusts.
Echo! Echo! Echo!
Whoa! I can see why they wanted to move us all out of town now.
But why would they dig a giant hole?
I think this is it.
This is the source? It's a dang hole? How do we smash a hole?
Oh, it's much more than that, my annoying little friend.
Kerr. Where's Rolo?
I wasn't lying before. He's safe. Well, safer than you two, at least. Drats, it's cold. You just had to drag me all the way out here, didn't you?
Mr. Kerr gazed down the abyss in contemplation.
It really is something, isn't it?
What did you do to our town? What is all of this?
Well, that's a doozy of a question. This is the source where they collect the unrefined,
Kerr scratched the back of his head.
Honestly, boys, I don't understand any of this well enough to explain it. Facts of the matter is, I'm not paid to know.
What do you mean you don't know? Aren't you in charge?
Oh, heavens no, my role is merely to flash a winning smile and manage various, complications.
Complications like us.
You are a smart boy.
His face contorted into a saccharine grin.
It really is nothing personal. Some people are destined to strive for greatness, and others are simply obstacles along the way.
Seems like you were destined to be a creepy lackey.
The point is that we all play out our part in life. Mine just happened to be a lead in the role of a lifetime, and you happen to be extras, ready for your curtain call.
We aren't giving up without a fight.
Your smile's not going to be so winning after we're done with you.
Now, boys, there's no need for melodrama. It makes even a professional such as myself embarrassed for you. Let's change the mood a bit.
Kerr snapped his fingers.
Scene change. There, that's better. Deal with them.
Iggy turned to Luca with a sly glance.
Why are you smirking?
Because I have a box full of fireworks and you don't.
Iggy waved the box into the air, threatening to drop it down the hole.
Stop. Let's not do something regrettable.
Joke's on you. Regret is one of my specialties. Out of curiosity, what would happen if I threw these in your precious hole?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
You're a terrible liar.
I'll have you know, I'm an exceptional liar.
But that's far enough.
Iggy plucked a single bottle rocket from the box and held it up with reverence.
Stop, you fool.
Call off your goons.
After a long pause, Mr. Kerr flung up his hand with frustration.
Ugh, very well. You can all head back for the night. It's been a long day. I'll handle these two from here.
Mr. Kerr sighed into the frigid air.
It's just us now, Iggy. You can put that down.
What, like this?
With a nonchalant flick, Iggy tossed the firework into the hole.
Ooh. Whoa.
With a growl, Kerr leapt at Iggy, crashing through Luca. Iggy tried to twist away, but in the struggle they both tumbled over the side. Luca dove forward, bracing Iggy's hand just before it slipped. His grip was made precarious by the cold, wet snow. He could see Kerr further down, clinging to Iggy's coat.
You reckless child, what have you done? Luca, listen to me. Hold on tight and use the walkie-talkie to call them back.
How, what channel do I use?
It doesn't make a damn difference, they're always listening.
If you do that, the clipboards will just haul us up and snag us both. The only way you get out of this is if Kerr's out of the picture. Just let go and save yourself.
If he lets go, we both die.
I don't want to die, but seeing the look on your face almost makes it worth it.
Mr. Kerr, you've had a long life. Why don't you actually do something selfless and just let go?
Mr. Kerr gasped with insult.
Long life? I'll have you know I can still play 25. You should have heard me sing the part of Phileas Young.
With a wild look in his eye, Mr. Kerr began to hum a proud melody.
Wow, can you believe this guy?
Luca's hand began to cramp. His voice began to crack.
Kerr, just let go.
No can do. If you want to save your friend, you'll have to save me too.
Luca, look at me. It's okay.
Luca felt Iggy loosen his grasp.
You ain't gonna kill your friend like that, are you?
Every muscle in Luca's body burned.
I'm not his friend.
Yes, you are.
Nah, I'm just a no-good bully. Like you, Kerr.
Iggy, no.
Luca felt his hand slipping.
And I told you what you need to do with bullies.
I can't.
It's your only way out of this mess. 2 birds with 1 stone. Makes sense for us to fall together. Wackadoos travel in packs.
A calm settled over Iggy's face.
Luca, let me do this.
Iggy's voice was colder than the bitter air billowing from the chasm.
Let me do the right thing for once.
Luca had no choice but to refuse or accept. Shit. Let's go with refuse first, yeah?
Luca had no choice but to refuse Iggy's request. He tightened his grip and reached for the walkie-talkie in his pocket.
Oh dear.
A wild delight crept onto Mr. Kerr's face.
I feel like this might be the wrong
That's
option.
Good lad. Now, radio for help. Iggy begged Luca with his eyes one last time, but Luca pressed the button and called out, We need help. Mr. Kerr is in danger." It wasn't long before they were once again surrounded by clipboards. Mr. Kerr sighed with relieved frustration. "There you are. You really are a worthless lot, aren't you? Mirror, now." A clipboard dutifully produced an ornate ivory hand mirror, and Mr. Kerr began preening his tousled hair. "Ah, that's better. Mr. Van Horn, I applaud your sharp thinking under duress. I'll put in a good word for you with the founder. Take them away." A swarm of hands overpowered Luca. The last thing he saw before a cloth bag was pulled over his head was the defeated look on Iggy's face. The end.
Okay, right, we're gonna have to accept then, aren't we?
I think this was one of those times where doing the right thing was the wrong
Well, we had to see if we could save Iggy, I think. So, I guess we go back and accept his request.
Luca had no choice but to accept Iggy's request. With a quiet blink, Luca watched a teardrop sail down into the howling void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
Good.
The two silhouettes were swallowed by darkness.
Hell of a goodbye, Iggy. Luca, you should really step back. What? Quickly? Curious. Ah, but of course. Those fireworks of Iggy's must have been just the right amount of energy. We should get out of here before perennial harvest arrives. Not until you just tell me what just happened. Your friend's sacrifice just saved this town. For a little while, anyway. How? Tempus liquamine is a peculiar substance. It can change the relationship between matter and time itself, but doing so requires unfathomable energy. In a closed system, that energy can only come from its surroundings. A useful side product of this property being, by adding precisely the correct amount of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So this gunk makes things cold and the fireworks made the whole freeze over? That's one way of putting it. Yes. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks weren't strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. I should have to think what would have happened in that case.
We have some idea what that would look like.
Yeah, we do. It will take them a good while to safely break through and access the source again. If you know all of this stuff, why haven't you been helping? I have been. In my way. Each one of us has our role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy us precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Wait for what? You. Me? Why? What's my role?
A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Luca Van Horn, you are going to save the world.
With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west. Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow. Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny.
Right, well, we're an hour in, and that feels like quite a good place to stop for now, doesn't it? Yeah, we're learning some stuff, aren't we? I think we're probably getting to near the end. It feels a little bit like that. But it's hard to tell with this forking path. I mean, if I was to go back and make a different choice, it might send us entirely down a different set of conclusions, you know. So that'll be interesting to play out. But yeah, we'll revisit this next time. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, then please do hit the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. That'd be fantastic. And in the meantime, I hope to see you next time for more Beacon Pines. Bye for now.